most known for your violence, but that's not what you were best at.
That's
is that a correct statement?
Yeah, it's close. What made me a good professional wasn't my violence; it was my ability to talk it down.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I feel that what made me a good door guy was waiting tables for 11 years.
Yes.
And being able to empathize with people.
Yes.
And connect and being able to empathize with every different person and type of table that I had and figure out how to please them and bring them over and get on their side.
Right.
That made me a better door guy than my Muay Thai skills. And was used more often than the Muay Thai skills.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the thing is, it got to, okay, we were discussing early, you know, the rush is not hurting people. The rush is seeing this guy who's been an asshole realize that he fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That looking at his eyes of, oops, right? That is the initial rush, and I mean, that's exciting. That can become an addiction. But then you can change it, and what later became my addiction was there was shit that was going over the edge. I mean, it was gonna go down in flames, right? And how far could it go? And I wasn't letting it go as far as it could, but it was like, how far could it go before I could pull it back?
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, those are the ones that it's like, that's the victory.
That's some Jedi shit right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I call the Jedi. You know?
Using off the droid. I mean, I don't know if I told this story, but you know, I had this drunk that every technique I was doing with the ashtrays had failed. This guy was looking for a fight, right? And I'm trying everything, you know, talk him down, etc. It's not working. And he said something, and I finally said, look, if it was up to me, I would serve you until you were crawling on your lips drunk. But I can't. The law says that I can't serve you anymore because we'll get in trouble. And with typical drunk logic, he said, well, the law is wrong. And right there was the opportunity, that little crack. And I went, you know what? You're right. And the state capitol is right down there. Why don't you go tell him that? And he went, I will! So this guy, you know, I'm standing by the door going, having fun storming the castle, boys! You know, and he's going off. And I mean, it didn't dawn on him that the police station is right across the, you know, from the state capitol, right? But it's like, that is the thing of, I thought I was going to have to go hands-on on this guy until that one split. And the art is actually being able to see
when you can win them over to your way of thinking.
Okay, you cannot reason with the drunk, but you can lie, con, trick, and bullshit one.
Yeah.
And if you can't, you're in the wrong fucking business, right? But it's like, that's the trick of like, how far could it go, and then you keep it back. And I mean, that became the real, you know.
That what you said about being able to connect with anybody, whether it's a sober friend or whatever, or just connecting with them on some way where he's your buddy, like you're saying. That's the game you're playing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you're good, it's not an act.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yes, I want you to come back and give me your money. You know, I sincerely mean that.
Yeah. So we agree 99% of the time you're talking somebody out, you're negotiating, you're tricking, you're getting them out one way or the other. When you have to actually, when everything goes wrong, you have to actually physically drag somebody out. What's your favorite technique?
Okay. You know, the thing about drunks is that they're trying to maintain their inner ear, right? Well, yeah, I mean, when you really watch a drunk, when people are trying to imitate a drunk, they don't do it right but they'll teach you in acting school that a drunk is trying to control his head, keep his head stable, right? Because, you know, you lay on the bed and the room goes spin, right? They're really susceptible to spinning, okay? So the thing is, you introduce the spin on this and it really messes their heads. And this is because of the alcohol, they're way more vulnerable to this taking over because their body may be done spinning, but their head isn't. Right? So one of the things that I taught my new guys was this. Okay, it doesn't look like that effective of a move, but what it is, it's a mechanical operation around what I call the vertical axis. So if I may borrow you, human body has got an axis that runs through. There are actually three of them, the same thing in airplanes. And if you can manipulate these axes, right, you got it. So the thing is, if I need to move him, right, what I do is that this action is more of a push, and this action becomes more of a pull. So when I come in, right, what I've just done is I've spun him around. Okay, now remember the bartender that was there and all of a sudden this newt, right? This operates the same mechanics because you're facing me now. How did that happen? Right? Oh, and while we're at it here, now notice I got his arm, or my arm is on his chest, not around his throat, right? I'm locking him into me here. I got my lower hand here, which is handling his center. Okay. From there, you just kind of walk him out the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this technique
like the
because
off balance.
yeah, throwing the off balance and supporting the lower back, because once again you're protecting the bar owner against liability, right?
Yes.
You're not just turning him around, picking him up and slamming him on the ground.
Right, and more
You
than
can
that, I'm protecting me.
Yeah, you can control how much force is delivered.
Right,
At that
right.
point you can ramp it up, or you can.
And what are the
Yes,
conditions for ramping it up or down?
Yeah.
And the answer is how much you resist.
Yeah. Is he going for a knife? What
Right,
is he
and
going
the
for a
thing
weapon?
is, if I do have to put him on the ground, the answer is those circumstances that are happening will dictate how hard I put him down. Okay, the same mechanics that we did before is if I'm taking you out and you're starting to struggle, I can actually start a secondary spin here that will take you down this way and allow you to land on your hands so you can catch yourself. Okay, soften the blow. Okay. But you basically let the guy roll down your leg. No, just put your foot out like
Just put the
that.
foot up like that.
Bend it a little. Okay, and then just let him roll down.
Just let him throw slide all the way.
Yeah.
down.
That makes sense.
Well, and the thing about it is your leg, yes, you start some spin, but what happens is that your leg creates a friction that causes him to roll.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
So I start the spin, and then you just roll down my leg. Okay? That's the nice version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? If you start fighting, say, here, you try and hit me, the only thing that's keeping you up is me.
Yeah, this is true.
So, and we're not gonna do it here.
God bless you. Got a trash pad at my place.
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I call an attitude interrupter. Okay. And if he goes for a knife or a weapon,
You're right there.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
See, so the thing is that position gives you options to react to different scenarios.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that I have a really, really big issue with, and I teach police and military as well, is that pain and emotion are motivational messages. If you don't want them to react, don't send the message.
Yeah.
And the problem with a lot of people is they send the message, right? It's like if I'm doing something that's causing you to hurt and telling you, don't resist, don't resist, don't resist,
Yeah.
you're gonna, hey, not resisting hurts, so I might as well fight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I always say the return trip to good behavior is always free. Okay?
Somebody once told me this too about pain. They said that in these type of situations, that pain is usually about resentment or revenge. It's not about having a situation.
It is
It's about your own-
perceived as such.
Yeah, it's your own personal thing. for
Yeah.
you to bring pain.
Yeah,
You
way
can
too-
agitate somebody
right.
without needing to use
Pain is the icing of the cake, right? The real cake is the technique that, if you need to hurt somebody, and remember, there's a difference between pain and injury,
Yeah.
right? And most people don't know. Tasers, hey, have you ever gone fishing and just stuck a hook in you? That's as much injury as a taser causes. They hurt like mothers, right? But they don't cause injury.
Yeah.
Right. The thing about it is that when people use pain as a motivation, there is a degree of revenge, often, but there's also a degree of not knowing that it's working. See, if I'm scared that my technique isn't going to work, I'm going to crank it hard,
Yeah.
and I'm going to cause you pain.
Yeah.
Right, and not working becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But see, if you take a drunk and get him spinning,
Yeah.
right, that is less, you know, it doesn't hurt, but what are you teaching him? What are you showing him? That was a question.
You're just showing that he's in pain.
No, he's not hurting.
That you can control him and move him where you want him to go.
Okay, one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened is having a little old guy whip my ass. Okay? And the thing about it was, he wasn't even working. It was like, could you at least make it look like some effort? Right? Now, what does that tell somebody?
Then if they showed some effort, you'd be really in trouble.
Yes. Yes, it's like, you know, but for his self-control.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing of, if I'm hurting somebody, okay, if I got some guy, don't fuck with me, and I'm choking him, right, et cetera, versus bad move.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, when I got you in that position, I'm whispering, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Right? That gives him the understanding that way is pain and bad things. And this way, if I don't misbehave further, it's not going to hurt.